Welcome to the Hero's Journey Project. We're on episode 27. I'm your host, Nick, and thank you for joining me on this hero's journey. All right, so I've read 10 more comic books this week, and I will tell you all about them. Let's see what we got here. We've got Hacha. Okay, first up, we have Marvel Mystery Comics number 52 from Timely. This is February 1944. You got an Alex Schomburg cover, Nazis, and bondage, all at the same time. So you got some torture. You got Human Torch blowing things apart on the cover as well as usual. You got bondage, Toro's in distress. He's also tied up. You got the Nazis shooting and firing, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So it's lots going on here. Another Alex Schomburg cover. So let's get to the story. So Human Torch and Toro are in France, helping the efforts of the French Revolution against the Nazis. That's followed by Submariner, who investigates instances of sabotage in New York's harbor and finds Nazis using the sewers as cover. The Patriot must figure out how Nazis are spreading false stories through the newspapers. Miss America gets involved when a blind girl is kidnapped to be tortured so Nazis can get the model for a new invention. And then finishing it off, the Angel follows a hunch after policemen are murdered on a certain beat, and it turns out that Midge is planning a bank robbery in the area. And he had a recent CGC 9.4 sale from August of 2019 for $28,800. Again, I'm always impressed when you got a 9.4 of a comic. It's almost 80 years old. At this point, I guess we're saying closer to 75 years old, maybe. But you see the underline at the bottom? That means we're looking at the big book of the week. So this is it. Start off with the big book of the week. This is Huge Monster, maybe because of all the exciting stuff going on the cover. Alex Schomburg, Nazi, bondage. But you got some big characters in there too, so maybe that's maybe it has to do with content as well. That's followed up by Master Comics number 47. This is from Fawcett, February 1944. And in this one, Hitler has his scientists figure out how to turn him into a version of Captain Marvel Jr. so he can become more popular with the kids. Crazy story. Gotta love it. Their recent CGC 6.5 sale from December 2020 for $306. It's an okay cover. I like it. You know, it's I like what they're doing with the shadows there. It's kind of fun. Next up is National Comics number 39. This is from Quality, February 1944. This is a Hitler cover, right? Gotta love those Hitler covers. Usually those are well sought after. Dr. Crud escapes from jail and unleashes his ape man to kidnap a rich woman when Quicksilver steps in and puts a stop to it. Goodness. You have a recent CGC 7.5 sale from June 2019 for $840. That tells me that perhaps this is not the most sought after Hitler cover that is out there. Police Comics number 27, Quality, February 1944. Plastic Man catches a killer and puts him on trial, but it turns out that he was innocent and the dead man's cousin did the deed. After that, Human Bomb and Hustis put a fake Swami out of business, and the Swami sets out for revenge. A recent CGC 8.5 sale from September 2019 for $336. Seems a little low for a Golden Age comic. Low price point for a Golden Age comic from for an 8.5 and high grade, but I always had a soft spot for Plastic Man, so maybe that's just me. Oh, sorry, I went too far. Yeah, we'll just go back. Sensation Comics number 26, DC, February 1944. It's a great Wonder Woman cover. I love the line work on it. H.G. Peters does great work. Again, I always say I like it, but I do like the line work on these covers. I don't know what it is, simple, but it's well done. Wonder Woman unwittingly steals secret military documents, and her mother, disguised as Wonder Woman, attempts to save her from danger. Now, this is the first time Hippolyta leaves Paradise Island in 4,000 years. So it's been a long time she left the island. So it didn't say it was the first time she ever left the island, but it sounds like she is there for a long time. It's kind of like the COVID lockdown type of thing. Mr. Terrific finds out the ex-gardener of a rich man wants to buy a portrait that is not an original for a large sum because a stolen pearl necklace is hidden inside. Wildcat helps a modern-day Robin Hood earn money in the boxing ring instead of stealing to give to the poor, and ends up fighting against him in the ring. A recent CGC 3.5 sale from October 2020 for $396. Star Spangled Comics number 29, DC, February 1944. Look, I kind of beat up on these comics a lot. I gotta say, you know, it's a fun cover, but I don't like the style of art, style of the drawing, the way it's done. It's not for me. The Newsboy Legion draw their own comic, and the exaggerated story about some crooks with stolen diamonds is actually true, attracting the attention of the crooks, and they team up with Guardian to take down the thieves. After that, Star Spangled Kid and Stripesy put an end to a crime spree put on by an out-of-town visitor, the Piccadilly Seal, who actually has a trained seal that can help him do things and break into different places. He's well-trained. Liberty Bell catches some saboteurs working at a rubber plant putting out a faulty product. So saboteurs were mixing some sort of chemical into the rubber, which cut its lifespan in about half. So, you know, so all these army vehicles would not function well, and the planes wouldn't be able to land properly because the landing gear tires would just blow out. So it's crazy sabotage. Robot Man and Robbie tracked down nickel-snatching mobsters that looted the subway fares. Now, this is the first appearance of Robbie the Robot Dog. So Robot Man created himself, little man's best friend, robot version of himself. In this issue, Robbie doesn't say a lot. He just says, "Here I am." He can say, "Here I am, Robot Man." That's all he says. So he starts off just being able to say that. I don't know if it's really an origin story specifically. Robot Man just shows up out of his workshop and says, "Hey, look, I made a dog." So there you go. You have a recent CGC 8.5 sale from May 2018 for $1,016. There's only 8 of these on the CGC census. So if people are looking to pick up the first appearance of Robbie the Robot Dog, there's not a lot of, doesn't seem like there's a lot of inventory out there, or they're just not great. I don't know. After that, you have Whiz Comics number 51. This is from Fawcett, February 1944. Captain Marvel judges a beauty contest, but things go awry when he's framed for taking a bribe, and a false news story gets out that he'll marry the winner. Crazy stuff. After that, Ibis loses his Ibis stick to a hobo who tries living the rich life. You have a recent CGC 9.0 sale from July 2020, $432. Again, I feel like this is kind of low for Golden Age comic and 9.0, but look, I didn't buy it, so I don't know. What am I going to do? After that, Wow Comics number 22 from Fawcett. This is February 1944 still. Mary Marvel becomes the victim of a thought-stealing machine, and her secret identity is discovered. Recent CGC 8.5 sale from May 2020 for $204. Now, there's only 7 of these on the CGC census, so another one that either isn't graded much or is pretty scarce. But again, seems like a low price point for an 8.5 from the Golden Age. Okay, now we are moving on to March of 1944. First up, Action Comics number 70. Superman tries to outwit the Thinker by taking a vacation and leaves Clark Kent to play the hero. As far as I can tell, this was the only appearance of the Thinker in Action Comics. He's more of a Flash villain. Zatara solves the mystery of the crimes being committed when it rains from a large floating island hidden in the clouds. A recent CGC 9.0 sale from November 2020, $2,160. All right, so this is an ad from Action Comics number 70. I just thought this was Kind of, I mean, looking at it now through the lens of 2021, I guess, this kind of calling a toy crack-a-jap machine gun in this day and age would probably not go over very well. Gotta figure, poor taste. In that time, you're in World War II, and you're really trying to rally everyone you can, and morale and all that stuff. I get it. Made sense, absolutely. But to looking at it now, yikes, it certainly seems like this is something that I shouldn't have done. I misspelled machine gun on the on the slide. Apologize for that. Last up, we have All American Comics number 56 is from DC, March 1944. Another Green Lantern cover. Again, I'm not such a fan of the art. I find it's the face. The face does it for me, but the proportions on the body seem a little off as well. But it's just not for me, I guess. Yeah, I just don't like the face. There's something about it just gets me. What are you gonna do? Green Lantern tries to keep up with a crook robbing himself. And now this crook was trying to go straight, but he ends up robbing himself because he's being blackmailed by formerly rich heir turned to crime. Anyway, he ends up losing all his money and all his goods and ends up working in a war factory and turning his skills towards the war effort as opposed to being a bad guy. The Atom attends a dance put on by a mobster looking to rob attendees with large sums of cash on hand. And then Dr. Midnight catches some thieves using Black Rain as cover created by a criminal mastermind named The Cloud. It's interesting that the Action Comics issue and the All-American Comics issue both had a story about thieves using some form of rain as cover to commit their crimes. A recent CGC 4.5 sale from March 2020 for $405. There's only 10 of these on the CGC census, so kind of scarce. Mid-grade comic, $400. Seems a little low again, but what am I going to do? You got Green Lantern, Atom, Dr. Midnight is all great, great characters. Yeah, I'm going to say I'm just going to finish this off by saying thank you for joining me. And I do have to say, hopefully the lighting looks a little better this week. So again, the podcast is evolving, my journey as well. I've got the lighting's a little better. I see the flare here from the lamp in the back. Wait, my finger almost disappears in the light. That's unfortunate, but at least seem to be better lit. I've got some better lighting going on. So we got the mic, the pop filter. You guys saw that. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Keep an eye out. You never know what's going to turn up next on this podcast. We're trying to make it bigger and better as we go. All right? Thank you very much. Take care.